I'd like to take a second and talk about the language that was created for Predator Badlands, as well as the heritage of Dimitrius Schuster, Koloamatangi, and how important that was to the film. While I didn't love Badlands, I think he was perfect for this role, and I think he's an actor who will hopefully see a lot more opportunities start opening up. Dan Trachtenberg knew he would need a Yautja language for what he was trying to do, so he turned to Dr. Paul Frommer, who is the man who created the language for the Na'vi. That's fairly telling, as these are both Disney projects. I think there is Avatar influence all over this film, but that's a topic for another video. Paul recommended this man, Britton Watkins, who is a linguist, and he got to work crafting this language from scratch. Obviously, the first film to feature extensive use of the spoken Yautja language. He also created an entire alphabet and written language as well. Now, Britton talked about wanting to make a language that wasn't so complex that nobody could learn it, but he also didn't want to dumb it down to a point that it felt silly. One of his main challenges in crafting the language is the lack of lips on the Yautja, so there's no ma, there's no ba, there's no fa sounds. When you look at the alphabet, there's a lot of consonant clusters, there's a lot of stuff that's difficult to pronounce, it's very guttural, there's a lot of clicking, it's a lot of work being done in the throat. And on top of just crafting how it sounds, there's a lot of framework and rules, like the object or predicate coming first, the verb being in the middle of the sentence, and then the subject coming at the end. Dan Trachtenberg himself has talked about not being able to speak this language at all. It's really complex, but Dimitrius had to be fluent. Think about the performance from Dimitrius. This was impressive in a few ways. First of all, this was a prosthetic suit that was incredibly hot. On top of that, he's wearing contacts, which are really uncomfortable, making it hard to see. There's a lot of physicality to the role. Dan Trachtenberg literally put him through like obstacle courses in this thing to make sure he could handle it physically. But at the same time, there's an extensive mental aspect to learning this entire language and nailing every single line. That is a lot of physical and mental pressure on an actor, but Dimitrius has talked about pulling on something deeper for this role. Dimitrius is a New Zealander with a Samoan mother and a Tongan father. This is only his fourth role, his second role in a film. Asked about how his heritage played into his performance, he said, quote, "It really did play a role in how I portrayed him. I think even Dan had picked up on it in auditions when I wasn't even trying. I don't know. For us, it's just embedded in who we are. We're fighters at the end of the day, and it plays so well into the Yautja culture because they're from a lineage of hunters. The similarities here I was able to bring forth with Dec and show that warrior spirit." Just to say, while I think the film has plenty of problems, I don't think Dimitrius was one of them. If you're curious what he's doing next, he's filming it right now, and it's a local project back in New Zealand. Independent comedy thriller called God Bless You, Mr. Kopu. He's starring alongside Grace Palmer and Simon Rex, who you might know from Red Rocket. It's a directorial debut of Tongan, New Zealand filmmaker Alex Liu. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for Dimitrius moving forward. If you'd like a full detailed breakdown of Predator Badlands and the future of the Predator and Alien franchises, new episode of Goodwill Podcasting is now live. You can find us all of these places when we were joined by the two Alien/Predator experts on this app, LP Longmire and Movie Deathblows. It's a really fun conversation, and I hope you enjoy.